Welcome back. You're watching Business Morning on Channels Television. We're turning our attention now to the business of insurance and being joined on the program by Valentine Ojuma, who is the Chief Executive Officer of FBN Insurance Limited. A good morning to you, and thank you so much for coming on the program. So we're looking at the business of insurance, and it's been 5 years now since FBN Insurance has been in operation. What has been achieved?
A lot, I guess. From our perspective, we have made a couple of new things happen in the industry. Number one, of course, we were the first people to actually go into the market with mobile insurance, which is addressing insurance requirements for a majority of our poor people, if I may use that word. We were the first insurance company actually in the group of Sanlam Group to make profit in just over 2 years. The shareholders never expected that. We have demonstrated over the years also that retail insurance can be done professionally and profitably. So it's been a good journey so far. We have a lot more to do. We're not unaware of the challenges of the business itself, so we're trudging on.
So, in looking at the challenges, I make bold to say that one of the main issues that a lot of people have complained about is low penetration. Has that also been a challenge for FBN Insurance?
It's obviously been a challenge for us, and that's why when we started, we looked at that opportunities at the bottom of the pyramid. That's where the crowd is. So how do you reach them? Luckily enough, we have First Bank behind us with over 10 million active retail customer base. We also have over 700 branches of First Bank down. So what we did was to develop our own retail sales team. Today we have about 1,250 of that, and they have been able to reach many parts of Nigeria, including northern Nigeria, Kano and Kaduna inclusive, and many cities in southeast and southwestern Nigeria. So yes, we have tried very much using that channel and also the mobile insurance channel to reach many of these people that otherwise would not have bought insurance at all.
So how have you managed to convince those people who feel that when you take out a life insurance, for instance, it's almost like you're writing your debt statement? Excellent.
So leave the word debt out of it and let them know that insurance is not about bad things happening. It's actually to help you when what you expect does not happen. So it may not be debt, it doesn't have to be debt. We sell insurance for you as if savings, and as you know, not a lot of people save money, particularly people who don't earn enough money at all. So what we do is to encourage them to save money. And in saving money, we're also putting the risk behind it, into it. So clearly when you're saving little money over time, if nothing happens, you get that back. But should anything happen, which is the risky side of it, we also pay to surviving families.
So for FBN Insurance, is the focus mainly for individuals or for corporate organizations, or is it a potpourri of both?
It's everything. We sell medical insurance, we sell life insurance, we sell savings products, we sell property insurance. As you know, we have FBN General Insurance and FBN Life Insurance. So we are in business in full.
Okay, so let's assess the company's risk capacity. How high is it?
It's very high. For the individual, we can, on our own, take up to 10 million naira per life. And on the property side, we actually have capacity to take up to 10 billion naira outside. So we have a very high capacity.
So what do you do when somebody defaults in paying their insurance for the month, especially if at the end of the day the person believes that I should collect a certain amount even though I've defaulted more than once in my payment?
That's a recurring problem. Nigerians typically don't want to follow the terms of the contract. We have had to bend backwards on a couple of occasions to try and make those people, just to make sure that they don't go out there and say wrong things to the public. So there have been a couple of occasions where we've been backwards and said, okay, let it go. But in most cases, we do encourage them to actually pay up their premiums on time.
So what would you describe as the highs of 2015 for the insurance sector and for the FBN Insurance as well?
2015 was quite challenging. As you know, the problem in the oil sector started last year. It had severe impact on our business, particularly general insurance. However, for FBN Insurance, we knew what to do. So we weathered the storm. We met our targets. So very clearly, the challenges remain, but FBN Insurance knows what to do. So we did what we had to do to get what we wanted.
So how does FBN Insurance make sure that the customers and their clients understand that, look, it's not business as usual. We are coming out with business unusual, and we intend to make sure that we satisfy our customers in spite of the fact that 2015 was a very challenging year. 2016 also looks like it started out on a challenging note as well.
For 2016 in particular, we are making very, very, very sure that our customer service unit and division our people are the best, and they're really, really active. So we are making sure that we are coming out, like we're doing right now, to the public more often to educate them and let them be aware that at times like this, a lot do go wrong. And so at times like this, you should actually make sure that your cover is in place and that you're paying your premium promptly, because this is when tough things do happen. So what we're doing this year also, we're trying to reach out more to people who otherwise would not have bought insurance. If you focus on the corporate side alone, you are aware already that the corporate side is going to be tough, even tougher this year. So we are looking at those uninsured groups of people and trying to make them recognize the benefits of insurance. So yes, 2016 will be tougher than 2015, but we are certain that we will also weather the storm.
Okay, so for 2016, we know that there's a little more focus, more concerted effort, especially from the presidency, to grow the SME sector, particularly artisans. So will FBN Insurance also be taking its products to such ones, the vulcanizer, the roadside vulcanizer, the tomato, pepper seller, people who ordinarily do not trust insurance companies?
Good question. There are two things you have talked about here. Number one is reaching the uninsured, which is the low-income group. And then number two is the trust factor. The trust factor is historical, okay? And I think it's not a one-company responsibility to continue to educate the public to reduce the incidences of trust. I know, for example, that Nikon is doing a lot to educate the public. They now have a claims bureau, and that if any member of the public has got any problem, they can report directly to Nikon, and Nikon will act on it. On our part, we have this arrangement with the Etisalat and Airtel. The intention of those programs is actually to reach your tomato sellers and granola sellers. And what are they paying? Just 10 naira a day to buy insurance.
How do you convince them that it's not a scam, even though it's coming from one of the telco companies? How do you convince them that if you pay that 10 naira, it's actually going into what we say it's going into, insurance for you?
You may have seen in the newspapers that we have been paying claims on those programs. That's one demonstration that it's not a scam.
But how many of these artisans read the newspapers?
Not a lot.
So if you put it in the regular, do you put it in regular newspapers, or do you put it in the local newspapers so that for those who can't read English, for instance, they can read in the local language?
Our program of communicating with the public this year includes stations such as yours. It includes local newspapers. It includes local radio. It includes the Wazobia radio. So you'll be seeing from next Wednesday that we'll be reaching every echelon of Nigerian society, including the ekpa seller, the tomato seller, and even the educated people sitting in the offices. The only way you can do that and do it properly is to go to the touch points where these people are. Like not a lot of them read The Guardian or This Day, for example. But the sports newspaper, that 4-page sports newspaper, a lot of ordinary people like me read it. So very clearly, we do try to reach them at their points of contact.
So talk to us about the future of life insurance.
I think life insurance has got a very, very bright future in Nigeria, and I'll tell you why. If you look at the penetration, less than 1% of Nigerians actually have life insurance. If you go beyond that, you find out that the risk of death, accident, medical problems that are often littering around the societies, the government cannot, on their own, take care of all of this, particularly with our current economic conditions. So the insurance industry is stepping in to fill the gap. Now, the real issue remains, how do you reach these people? So it's distribution is the main issue. I do not believe that they cannot pay, because like I've given you an example of 10 naira, that's easy. And a lot of companies are coming to recognize that cost is not the issue. You mentioned 2 points. Trust, which can only be addressed holistically, not from one company's point of view. And the other one is making them to understand the benefits of insurance itself. So these 2 things we know we're working on as a company, but also we're encouraging the regulator and the industrial associations to actually manage going forward, work as a group and address these 2 things, because there is a big opportunity in the life insurance sector.
So other life insurance now, how much claims has FBN Insurance fulfilled?
For 2014,
For 2015, okay.
2015 is not completely collated, but I think as at the end of the third quarter 2015, we had paid out over 1.2 billion naira. Now, this does not go for death covers only. It includes withdrawals, includes savings schemes and stuff like that. So as at third quarter 2015, we had paid out over 1.2 billion naira. So it's quite active. If you look at what we had done in 2015 compared to what we did in 2014, it's almost double. So it means that the public are getting to recognize the benefits of insurance, and they're getting interested in it, and they're actually getting involved.
So in terms of wanting to continue to generate that interest, I'm hoping that FBN Insurance will not stop educating the public on the necessity to take out an insurance policy, whether it's life or non-life insurance policy.
We will remain in the forefront of insurance,
all
aspects of insurance.
I will hold you to your word.
And I hope you buy a policy from us.
I have a policy already, but I will hold you to your word, Mr. Ojuma, and hope that FBN Insurance actually continues to fly the flag. But thank you for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you.
Valentine Ojuma is the CEO, FBN Insurance Limited, giving us his perspectives and telling us achievements that the company has recorded in 2015 and expectations for 2016 as well.